Morning. This is a real-world example of decision intelligence in action. In this video, I want to share a real example of decision intelligence in action. This came from a highly mature organization, one that was already operating at a strong level. And yet, the executive dashboards we built uncovered something their existing reports could not. The situation. It was a 1,000 store retail operation, all running on SAP. They had a disciplined supply chain process and a sophisticated forecasting environment. But leadership sensed emerging performance slippages. What they were feeling. Forecast accuracy fell off, but they couldn't pinpoint the issue. Stockouts were increasing across critical categories, and the explanations didn't match what they were seeing operationally. The problem wasn't visible in their traditional reports. Historic data looked normal, but the reports didn't expose the logic generating the forecast. The real issue was hidden deep inside SAP, where nobody thought to look. So we built a CEO level dashboard suite, actually, that integrated store performance, supply chain logistics, and forecasting into a single view. The goal wasn't just reporting, it was to give leadership clarity they had never had. It was designed around decision making, not reporting. And that's where the insight emerged. When we visualized forecasted stock levels, certain products were showing projected stockouts that didn't align with actual demand trends. These anomalies were early warning signs that something deeper was misaligned. So before I go on, this is a quick overview of how data becomes decisions. Starts in your SAP system and all your other legacy systems, goes into your data warehouse called SAP BW or Business Warehouse, and then finally through a series of processes becomes dashboards. So our process began with an investigation. The dashboard triggered cross-functional investigation between sales, supply chain, and the SAP system. The dashboard gave them a starting point, a map where the system wasn't behaving logically. Focused analysis revealed where the system wasn't really working. What was the root cause? The root cause turned out to be simple but impactful. The MRP parameters hadn't been updated in nearly a decade, in fact, since they went live. The business had evolved, but the planning logic driving the forecast hadn't changed with it. Forecasts were generated using outdated assumptions. Why has happened? High maturity organizations, they still experience system drift. Systems evolve far slower than the businesses around them. Business evolves quickly, and without early visibility, gaps accumulate quietly over time. So what does the fix look like? Well, the first thing we did was we updated the MRP strategies to reflect the current business reality. We realigned planning parameters and refreshed the master data, among many tweaks. And then finally, we instigated a continuing fix-up. What are the outcomes? Well, forecast accuracy improved. Improvements were immediate. Stockouts dropped sharply, both forecasted and actual experienced stockouts. Margins recovered, and the business, was happy to have those margins back. Leadership again felt confident in the system. The bigger lesson: dashboards serve as a diagnostic tool, not just a fancy report. They surface deviations early. And clarity is brought to the decision-making environment. In other words, you get your processes in control and you can start making executive level decisions as the human in the loop. What this means for you, your organization may be experiencing the same kind of drift. Parameters, definitions, and assumptions gradually become outdated. Dashboards, they give you visibility on the spot, and you can correct them. If not, those issues can become very costly very quickly. So here's my call to action. Review your decision intelligence maturity assessment results, and then let's work together to strengthen your dashboards, strengthen your data foundation. If you'd like my help, there's a link below to book a meeting with me, and we can go over your results and come up with a plan.